He told her, "I don't want a pregnant girlfriend." 5 years later, fate threw him into a room he never expected. There she was, standing tall, holding 3 little girls, his daughters. The man who once walked away now faced the life he abandoned. How do you make up for lost years? For every first word, first step, first smile you missed? Emily raised them alone, turning heartbreak into strength. Now, everything changes in an instant. Watch this emotional journey of resilience, revenge of the heart. And the reunion that no one saw coming. He had stared at her with that cold, polished expression she would never forget. "I don't want a pregnant girlfriend," he had said, voice flat, measured. As if he were discussing quarterly profits rather than the life they had created. Back then, Emily had felt the world crumble beneath her. She had held the tiny, shaking ultrasound printout against her chest like a shield, trying to make sense of a future she hadn't chosen but couldn't ignore. He had walked away, leaving only silence and a check scribbled with numbers that meant nothing to her heart. 5 years later, the universe demanded a reckoning. Liam Hastings, the billionaire CEO, strode into a gala. The kind he frequented effortlessly, glass walls, chandeliers, polished floors, and the hum of Manhattan nightlife visible through the 34th floor windows. But tonight, he wasn't prepared for what awaited him inside. 3 small figures, blonde hair shining under the golden lights, blue eyes that mirrored his own, stood in a line before him. His daughters, triplets, Hope, Lily, and Emily had raised them alone against impossible odds. In a cramped Brooklyn apartment where the radiator hissed like it resented her presence, and the floors groaned beneath the weight of life and struggle. She worked multiple jobs, waitressing, cleaning, odd sewing, commissions, every cent dedicated to keeping her girls alive and healthy. Each day was survival, subway rides with swollen legs, fainting from exhaustion in diner bathrooms, cold winter nights without heat. And yet she endured. She whispered to them as they grew in her belly, naming them, promising them safety, promising herself she would never break. The triplets' arrival had been a blur of pain and wonder. The hospital corridors smelled sterile and antiseptic. And Emily had held each daughter for a mere minute before the NICU swallowed them in incubators. Hope, Lily, Emma Tiny, perfect, screaming life into her heart. Undeniable proof that love could emerge from heartbreak. From the very first week at home, Emily learned the impossible art of juggling 3 tiny lives. 2 in slings, 1 in a stroller, constant feedings, endless diaper changes, sleepless nights. She did it all alone. And yet, as they reached toddlerhood, she discovered small triumphs. The girls laughed in unison, played together, and their personalities blossomed. Hope was fearless and curious. Lily was quiet, a thinker, always asking questions about space and stars. Emma, the empathetic heart, offered hugs before she could speak fully. Money was always tight, but necessity bred creativity. Emily rediscovered the sewing skills her grandmother had taught her and began crafting dresses for her daughters. Word spread. Neighbors, friends, and eventually small boutique brands noticed. She slowly built a modest business from her tiny apartment. 3 little lights. Orders came in, each one a lifeline. A confirmation that the world could appreciate her work and her daughter's beauty. Years passed. The girls grew, thriving under Emily's fierce, careful love. Then came the invitation, a golden-edged card. A request for her presence at the Manhattan business. Women's Gala. Recognition. Opportunity Emily had never imagined walking into such a room. But she saw it not as a fantasy, but as a milestone of survival and success. The night of the gala arrived. Emily, dressed in a gown she had designed herself, stepped into a world of polished strangers and whispered power. The girls had stayed home with a trusted neighbor, except fate had other plans. Security allowed the children to enter, insisting on their presence at a small family-friendly section of the gala. And then Liam saw them. The moment his eyes fell on the girls, the world stilled. His jaw clenched. Each face mirrored his own. Hope tugged at Emily's gown, curious about the man staring at them so intently. But Emily's hand on their tiny shoulders reminded him, They belonged to her first. And she had shielded them for 5 years. For the first time in years, Liam appeared lost. He could not speak. Shock, disbelief, recognitional collided in his blue eyes. "Emily," he whispered. She did not answer. Not yet. The room, buzzing with luxury and gossip, became a silent battlefield of emotion. She walked past him, daughters at her side, leaving him with the weight of years he could never reclaim. 3 days later, the DNA results arrived. Unmistakable. The girls were his. Liam could no longer deny what he had missed, what he had abandoned. When he visited Emily's studio, the reality of their absence hit him like a physical blow. She did not rise, did not smile. She simply handed him the truth, the weight of 5 years, stitched into every fiber of her being. "I want to meet them," he said eventually, voice trembling. Not in demand, not in plea, but as a confession of guilt and hope. Emily set strict boundaries. They would meet on her terms, in safe spaces, gradually, without pressure. Liam agreed. He showed up consistently, patiently, quietly. Not as a savior, not as a father reclaiming lost time, but as a man trying to earn back a place in lives he had once walked away from. The first meeting was simple. A picnic in Prospect Park. Liam knelt before the girls, careful, gentle, letting them approach him at their pace. Hope declared him cool. Lily let him help with her constellation puzzle. Emma, fearless, hugged him without hesitation. Emily watched, heart taut yet steady. Trust had to be earned, and he was taking the first careful steps. Weeks became months. Liam visited regularly. Emily allowed him into their home in limited ways to observe and nurture. He learned routines, habits, likes, and dislikes. He memorized bedtime stories, nightlights, and snacks. Slowly, the girls' laughter began to include him naturally. They started calling him by different names until Emma, ever bold, tested the waters. Daddy, Liam did not crumble. He simply held her closer. Emily felt a quiet reassurance that presence, not perfection, mattered most. Yet the world outside remained unkind. Gossip, blogs, tabloids, and social media began speculating about Liam's secret children. Photos circulated, brands and reporters swarmed. Threats appeared. Messages, comments, judgments. Emily protected her daughters fiercely. Liam, shaken, wanted to react. Emily refused, insisting the girls were not a PR tool. Safety became paramount. One night, after a photographer attempted to capture the girls at the park, Emily relented to Liam's offer. They moved in secrecy to his upstate estate, a fortified, quiet sanctuary. Luxury replaced chaos, yet Emily's independence remained intact. Liam became a constant, steady presence, never overstepping, always supportive. The girls adjusted, enchanted by the home, the garden, and the tranquility. Over time, Emily softened. Not out of dependence, but trust. She watched him carry Emma during thunderstorms, make pancakes for all three, read stories aloud, and navigate the intricate dance of fatherhood he had once abandoned. Slowly, the fractured pieces of their past began to fit together, forming something new, not perfect, but real. Nearly a year after their quiet relocation, Liam proposed. No grand gestures, no public spectacle, just a quiet Tuesday folding laundry. The girls playing nearby. "I love you. I love them. I want to build a life with you," he said. Emily moved, hesitant, but sure in her bones, accepted. Their wedding was small, intimate, full of laughter, petals, and personal touches. The girls wore dresses they helped design, weaving family and creativity into the ceremony. Years passed. Life found rhythm. Emily ran her business remotely, still sewing with joy, no longer desperation. Liam maintained his promise. Consistent presence, steady support, humble acknowledgement of past mistakes. Together, they built a life that honored hardship, perseverance, and second chances. The story was not about instant redemption or magical reconciliation. It was about earned trust, resilience, and the profound evolution of love. Emily did not need saving. She became the savior for herself and her daughters. Liam did not erase the past. But he chose to walk alongside, slowly, attentively, proving that accountability and presence mattered more than words. And in the end, the lesson crystallized. Family is not only about blood or momentary declarations, but about showing up consistently through chaos and calm alike. Second, chances are not given, they are built, brick by brick, stitch by stitch, heartbeat by heartbeat. Don't scroll past this. Story Emily's journey proves that true strength isn't measured by what life gives you, but by what you rise above. Watch as one woman raises 3 daughters alone, builds a thriving business, and confronts the father who walked away, showing us all the power of resilience, love, and second chances. Hit the like button if you believe in earned redemption. Subscribe for more heart-stopping emotional stories. And share this with someone who needs a reminder that no matter how broken the past, the future can still shine.